coming from a 9-year marriage that ended when his wife died of cancer. We also learned that he was bringing 2 young children into his new marriage with Sarah. Do you have any tips for helping the kids make a smooth adjustment to all of this? He asked.
And what should we do about his parents? Sarah chimed in. They think we're rushing into this marriage.
Needless to say, we didn't have time to do justice to the many questions Sarah and Tom had about starting their second marriage. And truth be told, we didn't feel all that confident about what little advice we did have. We passed along a few bits of information and underscored the importance of healing the wounds from their previous marriages.
But both Les and I felt bad that we couldn't do more to help Sarah and Tom get started on the right foot for the second time. That was more than a half dozen years ago. Since that time, we've dedicated much of our professional lives to helping couples just like Sarah and Tom build the best marriages possible. Up until that time, we'd worked with countless couples entering marriage for the first time, but it wasn't until we met Sarah and Tom that we began to realize that we were neglecting critically important concerns for nearly half of all couples marrying today. We realized that these couples, where one or both were marrying for a second time, faced a unique set of circumstances that desperately needed attention. These couples needed a special set of skills for saving their second marriage before and after it started.
Well, since you're listening to this audiobook, we know that you have a story that in some ways is similar to Sarah's and Tom's. You may or may not be bringing kids into your new marriage. You may or may not have been wounded in a previous relationship. We don't know the details of your story, but we know for sure that you want your marriage to afford you every good thing it was designed to give. And it can, in spite of the odds. Let's be honest. The "till death do us part" statement of the marriage vows rings increasingly ironic. In the 1930s, 1 out of 7 marriages ended in divorce. In the 1960s, it was 1 out of 4. Of the 2.4 million couples who will get married this year in the United States, it's predicted that at least 43% will not survive. And most startling, of those getting married for a second time, 60% will not make it. For too many couples, marriage has become till divorce do us part. Every couple marrying today is at risk. More than 200,000 new marriages each year end prior to the couple's second anniversary. After they toss the bouquet and return the tuxedos, couples often assume they're headed for marital bliss. But a study of those who recently tied the knot revealed that 49% reported having serious marital problems. Half were already having doubts about whether their marriage would last.
The truth is, most engaged couples prepare more for their wedding than they do for their marriage. The $50 billion a year wedding industry can testify to that fact. According to experts, the average 200-guest wedding today costs $22,000. More than 1 million copies of bridal magazines are sold each month, focusing mainly on wedding ceremonies, honeymoons, and home furnishings, but not on the marriage itself. Looking back, it seems silly that Les and I did so much to prepare for a wedding and so little to prepare for a marriage. But the truth is that less than a fifth of all marriages in America are preceded by some kind of formal marriage preparation. One wonders what would be the effect if the same amount of time, energy, and money spent on the ceremony was invested in the marriage. Planning the perfect wedding too often takes precedence over planning a successful marriage, and lack of planning is the ultimate saboteur of marriage. The wedding bell blues are common after the excitement of an elaborate wedding celebration. The emotional high of ordering engraved invitations, selecting music for the ceremony, and choosing a china pattern took all of my attention off the big picture, a young bride told us. The ceremony was more tangible and less of a gamble than the marriage. I put my energy into the wedding and hope for the best. For too long, the trend has been to fall in love, marry, and just hope for the best.
This book offers a different approach. Over the last 4 decades, marriage specialists have researched the ingredients of a happy marriage. As a result, we know more about building a successful marriage today than ever before. For example, happily married couples will have healthy expectations of marriage,
a realistic concept of love,
a positive attitude and outlook toward life,
the ability to communicate their feelings,
an understanding and acceptance of their gender differences,
the ability to make decisions and settle arguments,
a common spiritual foundation and goal,
a deep and abiding commitment and covenant together.
In short, the indicators of a healthy marriage form the basis of the